I've had plenty of people ask me how I make my CDI animations, so I guess it's about time I show you how. There are 3 very simple rules to follow to achieve that CDI accurate look, so I'll very quickly be going through all of them here. As a template, I'll be using this Dry Luigi run cycle from Lumpy Touch's video Sweaty Luigi. I figured that'd be a good template to use since it's already CDI themed, it loops at only 7 frames, and it's drawn in a way that should be easy enough to trace over. Hopefully Lumpy Touch is okay with me using their animation for this. Be sure to go check out that original video if you haven't already. Alright, so the program that I use for 2D animations is called GIMP. This won't be a tutorial on how to use GIMP, so if you have no knowledge of the program at all, then I'd suggest just doing what I did when I was first getting started with it, and just try and figure out the basics on your own, and Google anything specific that you can't figure out. Also, I'm using a version of the program from like 10 years ago, so I'm sure there's a newer version available that's more user-friendly, but this version works fine for me and what I do. Okay, CDI animation rule number 1. Keep to the original CDI resolution of 384 by 239. Then it's just a simple matter of drawing the frame. Make sure you use the pencil tool and set the size down to 1. Also, I use a mouse for my animations, so the smooth stroke option is definitely recommended when doing that. Now that the line work is done, we move on to rule number 2. Stick to the CDI color palette. Even if the CDI colors aren't perfectly accurate to what you're looking for, it's always best to just go with the closest CDI color option. Then, just wash, rinse, and repeat these steps to get through the rest of the frames in your animation. Afterwards, you can optionally upscale them to a higher resolution to get that sharp pixel look that I prefer to go with. To get that, just use the scale tool, make sure that the interpolation is set to none, and then resize it to whatever size you like. So, here's how the animation looks. Notice anything off? That brings us to the 3rd and final rule of CDI animations. Keep the frame rate at 10 frames per second. Here's the animation playing at the original 30 frames per second, and here it is at 10 frames per second. See how much of a difference that makes? The character model obviously isn't CDI accurate, but even then, just by keeping to the 3 rules that I mentioned here, you end up with some pretty decent looking CDI animations. And that's all there is to it. Now, go watch that Lumpy Touch video again.
He's gonna suck ya!